Look at this field here, Stuart. My goodness. Fernando Pimenta took a different approach to the race in Szeged. He normally goes out very, very fast. He was a much more measured paddler in Szeged, and in the end he beat everybody except Varga. You expect Pimenta will give this a bit of a challenge as well. Tom Green, the Australian, of course, gets stronger every time he gets on the water. The Argentinian Venice, it's just a quality field from top to bottom. There is Fernando Pimenta. Whoa, look at this. He is really flexing his muscles early on here. He's set down the challenge to his teammate. He says, if you want to beat me, you're going to have to work very hard. But gee, he looks comfortable, Stuart.
Yeah, going through the 500 and 147 with 500 to go is really, really impressive.
Look at this. He is in control at this stage. Now Pimenta is starting to dig a bit deeper. But I don't think anybody can get near Adam Varga. Wow, this is a big warning shot which has been fired across the bows. This is as strong a final lineup as you're likely to see all year. Maybe with a German coming back later, maybe Jakob Hopp when he's fully fit. Kopacz working hard. He knows that everything is on the line here. His chances of getting to the World Championships have slipped away, though, certainly in the K1. Hats off to you, Adam Varga. It is a complete rerun of Szeged 2 weeks ago. Varga first, Pimenta second. It's a long way to Paris, but wow, Adam Varga, he's got 1 foot on the top podium already with that sort of style. I mean, Fernando Pimenta is no slouch, and he could not keep up with the young Hungarian, who, by the way, is one of the nicest men you're going to meet off the water. He just loves paddling, but the Hungarians tell me he's a very focused young man. He's off at university studying, he's preparing for a life after canoeing. Just tremendous to see him have such success on the water. And he has sent out a very strong signal to the rest of the men's K1 1000 field. Catch me if you can will be the message. Pimenta second, Kopacz third, Tom Green sneaking into fourth. But it is Varga first, Daylight second in the men's K1 1000.
I'm very glad to manage to win because it's not just a World Cup for me and Berlin. It's also a qualification race for the World Championships. So it's a very important race for me.
Just underlining what we're saying there about there was much more at stake for him there than just a World Cup. So here we go. This is the women's K4. Look at that lineup, and wow, there's so many exciting races in this. Well, but we're underway. Let's keep an eye on the middle of the field with the Poles and the Chinese. The Chinese, the gold medalists from Szeged. The Poles, well, we know how good they are. They were fantastic in Tokyo. But that is your hometown favourites. Closest to the camera there, that is your crew from Poland. Right next to them are the gold medalists from Szeged. Exactly the same crew from Szeged. The Chinese sitting second at the moment. Now in Szeged, the Chinese finished strongly. They ran over the top of the rest of the field. Can they do it again here? The crew of Naja, Palaska, Kakol and Puta, they look like they've got this race under control. A really strong race. You can hear the Poznan fans getting behind their hometown favourites. They've got big hopes for gold in Paris next year. That is a gold for Poland, silver for China, and it looked like the Germans taking the bronze. Another good result for this young German crew as they rebuild. The K4, Stuart, is one of the only events where all the Olympic quotas are filled at the World Championships in Duisburg.
Yeah, it's a really important year for the K4 qualification. It's an awesome event, and like I said earlier, it's quite a few spots to qualify, so it'll be some tough competition.
So what I mean by that, for those listening at home, is that there are no other chances to qualify a K4. No continental quotas available or anything. You have to qualify your K4 at the World Championships. So it's very important that you have a crew that can get you into the final. Looking forward to hearing what the girls have to say after winning another gold. What's that, 3 in front of the home crowd today, I think? So,
yeah, really good showing today.
Yep, good show for the home crowd fans. Let's cross down in just a moment and we'll hear their words of wisdom after taking gold.
Hello. Can you tell me how do you feel about this race?
Well, great. We are in good form sport at the moment. The important things for us is to win qualification Olympic Games on the World Championships.
And what do you think will happen this year?
Right now we don't know. We are focused for this starting here and tell coach for us later.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm sure the coach will have happy things to say. He'll say congratulations, well done. But as we've been saying, Stuart, there's so much depth in the Polish team. Trying to get a ticket on that K4, it's the hottest ticket in town, isn't it, for any team, but on that Polish team with so much depth. Confirmation there of the results. Poland taking the win. China, Germany, the bronze. Denmark putting a good performance there for 4th. But paddling here in the C1. So we're about to get underway for the first final of today. Perfect race conditions. And we're underway. So in the middle, in the purple boat, it's Ludmila Luzan. Alongside her, Wenjun Lin from China. And on the other side of Luzan on her left is Loschke from Germany. And across in lane 2 is Changhua Shui from China as well. She made the A final in Szeged. And it looks like at this stage the 2 Chinese boats are going out very strong. Borowska from Poland is there as well, though, with the home crowd pushing her along. She'll be very keen to make amends for her race in Szeged, where she ended up in a B final. Ludmila Luzan a little bit off the pace at the moment, but she will come through strongly. She's got a very strong finish, the Ukrainian. And as we come down towards the finish line, it looks like Ludmila Luzan pushing through between the 2 Chinese boats. It's Luzan, it's Lin, it's Luzan gets the money. Just ahead of Lin from China and Shui, the 2nd Chinese. But Luzan looks quite surprised. I think she didn't expect to have got there, but she's very happy. Perfectly judged race, timing-wise.
Yeah, you could see her stroke rate was really controlled throughout the race, and she just sort of brought it through at the end there.
After everything they've been through in the last 12 months or so, to be able to turn up, not only just turn up, but also to compete, and to compete at this level, when your country is being bombed and you're trying to stay safe and you're worrying about your family. So you can see there, she had a lot of work to do, Stuart, at that stage of the race.
Yep. She really brought it through in that last 100, 150 meters.
Look at that determination, really digging deep there, Ludmila Luzan. She had the Chinese on either side of her to get through, and in the final 50 meters of the race, just lifting out of the water almost, and look at that, that is perfectly judged. So Luzan first, it looks like Lin, silver, and the bronze going to Shui from China.
І ми боремося, де б не були, ми сильні і ми показуємо це всюди. Слава Україні!
For those of you at home who can speak Ukrainian, I'm sure she had some good words to say there, but I mean, she's worked so hard at this event. One of the first athletes to do the canoe, and has just been a consistent performer. And it's great to see her winning this race here. They missed Szeged, of course. Well, I say of course, but there was no canoe sprint athletes from Ukraine outside your lane.
Finished outside my lane. Fortunately, there were no boats in those lanes. But yeah, unfortunately, no progression there. So, yeah.
Picking up a World Cup gold medal in a K1 200. So we're underway now. A very even start in this splash and dash over 200 meters. What a beautiful view from the drone of the course. There is the pole. There's a good little crowd out here from Poznan fans who are cheering on the Polish contingent. And at the moment, she's going pretty well, Kolejic. She's out in front, I think, just ahead of, looks like Estes Olivier from South Africa is there. There is the speed machine from Denmark, Matteson. Expect her to come home fast. At the moment, it's Matteson and Kolodziejczyk from Poland. Janic trying to hold on to get up there, but it's the yellow. It looks like the Pole Kolodziejczyk is going to finish in the gold medal position, I think. Let's see. Yes, gold medal for Poland. First gold for the day for the home nation. Strong race from the start to the finish for the pole. The lads very excited. More excited about seeing themselves on the screen, though, than anything else. But good result there for Katarina from Poland. Taking the gold. I think Matteson from Denmark took the silver. The bronze was very close.
Yeah, I think it was really close between, I think, lane 7 and lane 3. It was a Slovak and the other Dane.
So good even start there. And there is Matteson, who took a little bit to get into her stroke in the final. But in the middle of the field, it was Katarina Kolodziejczyk with Matteson there on her right. Janic also was up there, but in the end it was a pretty comfortable win for the pole. Confirmation now, so gold to the Poland, silver Denmark, and yeah, I think you're right, across in lane 2.
Might be lane 2.
Yeah, it's Kovacevic from Croatia, who has flown home to take the bronze medal. So would most of these athletes, Stuart, for the 200, given that it's not an Olympic event, would most of them be using this event just for training and for warm-up purposes? What would be the main focus for these guys?
Yeah, I think it's really good just to get as much racing in as possible sort of this time in the year. I think it's also good to develop that speed that you need for crew boats for some of them, for the K2s and the K4s. So yeah, I mean, it's really impressive watching some of the athletes doing the 500 and the 200, and some of them also, you know, being good over 1,000 meters. Yeah, it's really good to see them shaping up in the 200.
So now we look towards the women's K2 500. Now this, of course, is meter final. Watch lanes 4 and lanes 5. They are the two Polish crews, the two red boats. And that would be, I think, your favourites. The Klat-Wisniewska combination. Alongside them, Katarina Kolodziejczyk, who's already paddled this morning, of course, from Poland, and Justyna Izreki in the second Polish boat. But it is Klat and Wisniewski who have gone out the strongest here in this K2 200. A really good, strong combination here. Couple of young girls just trying to work their way into the Polish team for the World Championships later this year. And look at that, that is a very convincing win. It looks like it might be the Italians getting through to second, just ahead of the Austrians, who I believe are sisters from Austria, Adriana Lahacci and Anna Roxana Lahacci. I think they're sisters. He was in the K4 last week, but is not in the K4 today. Not in the Olympic K4 crew anyway, but we'll see racing a little bit later on today. So yeah, this Polish combination had the race pretty well sewn up by the halfway stage. Very convincing result for them. Congratulations to Martina Klat and Helena Wisniewska, sorry. Gold, silver to the Italians, and the Austrians sneaking through for a sneaky bronze there. Second Polish crew just finishing outside the medal. Hopefully we'll get a word in a moment from...
How do you feel about the race?
To był całkiem fajny wyścig. Myślę, że nasze pierwsze 200 metrów tak naprawdę na zawodach, także to nie jest to samo co na treningu, wiadomo. Mam nadzieję, że szlakowa też zadowolona.
Bardzo dobre wyjście. To co tam gdzieś tam cały czas nam systematycznie ładnie wychodzi. Później po prostu widziałyśmy, że gdzieś tam mamy tą przewagę i postanowiłam troszeczkę jeszcze oszczędzać się na jutro.
Best you work
Dobrze.
on that. Best, yes, best, but I know that Martina especially speaks very good English, by the way, so I'll be having a word with her later on about that. Confirmation there, gold to Poland, silver to Italy, and the bronze medal going to Austria. Gold, silver, bronze. And the second Polish crew finishing in 4th position. Taipei paddler lay in a race for the bronze at this stage, but Viktor Glaznov, if anything, Stuart looks like he might be extending his lead a little bit.
Yeah, he's really pulling out all the stops. He's got some really good good length on his catch. Nice steady stroke rate. Seems to be pulling away from the Chinese paddler.
Lane 9, whether there's any substantial difference wind-wise, but he's off to a good start. Martin Fuchser in lane 9. It's a long race, the men's C1 1000. Probably the toughest race on the...
Yeah, it must be. I mean, I've done a couple of K1000s in my time, and I don't envy the C1 guys over this distance. It's a really long way to go.
And we've got some great finals coming up. The next one should be an absolute cracker, Stuart, the men's C1 1000. This, of course, is an Olympic event. Martin Fuchs back. He missed Zeged. He's in the outside lane. Gee, he looked comfortable. He looked relaxed in his heat race the other day. Adrian Bart, Carlo Tacchini from Italy, and, of course, the Pole, Glaznov, who probably start favourite in front of his home crowd. That Hungarian is trying to run him down. So it's Glaznov in front. Balas Adolf from Hungary putting down the challenge. Glaznov holding that lead though. Maybe, if anything, just sneaking out. And look at Martin Fuchser. Fuchser now getting his act together for the second half of the race. Can Martin Fuchser sneak up and challenge here for the lead? There's not far to go. Fuchser is flying home. So it's Glaznov in front. Fuchser in closest to the screen is the one finishing the fastest. It's Glaznov and Fuchser and Tacchini. Fuchser's challenge might have run out of power. He might have got there. He might have got there. Martin Fuchser in lane 9. Maybe. My goodness, that last 25 metres, I thought he was gone.
Yeah,
I thought he was gone.
The first 500, even 750 meters of the race, he was sort of out of it. The pole looked like he had it, but it looks like he might have just pipped him on the lunge.
He has timed that to perfection. So that is an incredible back half of that C1 1000. He is back. He is back, folks, and there'll be a few C1 1000 paddlers watching around the world who will have watched that and thought, wow, this man is in good form in 2023. There he is, the pole, Viktor Glaznov, commanding lead at that stage. I wonder whether he could see right across in lane 9 Martin Fuchser. He was a mile behind. You can just see on that picture there the weight. So here he is now. This is getting up towards the finish line, and Fuchser was really throwing him down here. Incredible stamina from this young man from the Czech Republic. And look at that there. He just in the last... That's getting your lunge perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Glaznov second, and Tacchini holding on for third. He'll be very happy to pick up a medal there, Carlo Tacchini from Italy. But Martin Fuchser, that is how to time a race, folks. That is how to sneak under the radar and take a gold medal, to snatch a gold medal away from the hometown favourite. He won't be getting any free beers tonight in Poznan, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think Glaznov might have just missed him in lane 9 there.
Let's have a listen to Martin Fuchser.
Can you tell us how do you feel about this race?
I hope that I was one. So I am really happy that my first international race in C1 win the race. So very good for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's his first. He didn't do the C1 in Zeged. He was doing the C2 with his brother. They put a bit of time into that boat this year to try and get that qualified for Paris. But there is confirmation. Martin Fuchser flying home in lane 9 to snatch the gold from Victor Glasnow. The program's really strengthened in the last 12 months or so.
Yeah, we've had some really strong performances with Dan Johnson and Tom Lusty sort of heading it out for the World Championship spot later this year. They were at World Cup 1 and now they've headed back to prepare for that July regatta. So that'll be a big match-up to see who races at that World Championship.
I wonder if they were sitting at home watching today, what they would have thought about what they saw.
I'm sure they were watching, and I'm sure that everyone, those techniques sort of helping each other along. The crew boats are really good because you can kind of be pushed by the other person in the boat.
So we're at the start now. This is the A final for the C2 men's 1000. Keep your eye on the Italians in lane 4, the Chinese in lane 5, and of course the Polish boats, you'll expect them, their canoe program is very strong. So you would expect a forward showing from them as well. And the Chinese, they have so much depth in their team, both men's and women's. And it is at this stage in the, looks like a light blue coloured boat there, the Italians who've gone out early to take an early lead.
Staying in medal contention.
So Kratchen and Santini at the moment as we come down to get the split at the halfway mark. They will cross first. You still, I think, no, maybe as you've caught, maybe it's the second Polish crew now that have come through. Yes, they've moved into outright second. There is Kloss and Saradzin, these two Italian paddlers. The race is on for second. It looks like the Chinese may get up you to edge the Poles out, although it's going to be very, very close for silver. Gold to Italy. Oh yes, the Chinese crew sneaking into the silver medal, and bronze going to Nowaki and Witkowski. But that's a strong 1,000 metre race for the Italian, Stuart, leading from start to finish.
Start to finish, yeah, sort of photo finish for that second and third place. But I think the Polish might have got it, or maybe the Chinese. We'll see.
Hope you're enjoying this coverage of our second International Canoe Federation Canoe Sprint World Cup, coming to you from Poznan in Poland. Always put on a good show here in Poznan. Excellent conditions today for paddling, and we've seen some fantastic finals. There's still great racing to come, folks. We've got K4s, which are always very entertaining and very exciting. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out this week. Of course, we've got another day of finals coming your way tomorrow, including the 5,000 metre races, Stuart. We can't tempt you to enter yourself in as a late starter for the 5,000.
Yeah, I mean we've got a pretty strong offering with Matt Johnson and James Russell, who was in the, I think he won the C final in the K1000 metre, but he's mainly out here for that 5K event. So it's going to be a really competitive race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It was very entertaining last week with additional portages, which some athletes struggled with. Interestingly, the athletes with a marathon background seemed very comfortable.
Yeah,
they enjoyed themselves.
There was a bit too much swimming last week, so hopefully less this week. But yeah, I mean it's difficult. You've got to do marathon portages with a sprint weight boat.
So there's confirmation of very comfortable win by over a second in the end for Kratchen and Santini. The Chinese, they were early on challenging. They seemed to take a bit of a breather in the middle of the race. Just maybe, here we go, let's have a listen to our Italian gold medalists.
How do you feel about this race?
It was a good and then interesting race, because for us this is our first gold in 1,000 meters. So it was very interesting and fun, and a good fight with other teams. So it's really, really good.
So what do you expect to do this year?
We have some tests in Rome,
because the objective is the Olympic distance, 500 meters. So we'll see in the future if we will do 500 meters or come back on the 1000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because Lithuania, we talk about ideal combinations for boats. When you look at that Lithuanian K4, there are 4 200-meter specialists basically in that boat. They've gone in there in the yellow and blue boat, and right next to them, the Lithuanians. They will be the 2, I think, that will be throwing down the biggest challenge to the rest of the field. This will be a real splash and dash affair, and they are underway. Good even start. Nobody had too many problems as they get out of the starting blocks. The Lithuanians quickly into their rhythm. And they've gone out with the Ukrainians already, Stuart, and it looks like the Ukrainians flexing their muscle early on. Look at them go.
Poland on the far side as well.
Yeah, indeed, with Stepan, with Grabowski, Witczak and Mikalski as well. But in the middle of the field, it's Ukraine at the moment. The Lithuanians just dropping off a little bit, but they did this last week as well. They've got a big finish. So Ukraine welcoming themselves back to the competition and have gone out early to put a stranglehold on this race as we head down to the halfway stage. It's Ukraine ahead of Denmark. It looks like keeping up alongside the Ukrainians. Lithuania dropping back a little way now. They've got a bit of work to do to get back into this race. In fact, they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get back and challenge for a medal even. Because it's Ukraine in front, Denmark second, the Australians hanging on for third. But Ukraine, gee, they look strong, don't they?
Yeah, really impressive performance. They've just blown the field away. You can see Lithuania coming through now. But I think I don't think anyone's going to match Ukraine.
No, that is it. Looks like the Australians will get up for second, which we'll be happy about, and third to Denmark. But I think if the Spanish crew and the Germans are watching at home, they'll know that here is a crew that, I mean, they've just had that consistency of personnel, and coming back this week after missing Szeged and showing in their smart new outfits. I like the look. I like their tops. Very smart indeed.
Yeah, nice boat too.
It is a good boat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Early, I think.
Yeah, strong off the gates, but they just couldn't hold it in the last 250 meters.
And they were strong from start to finish. The Australians will be encouraged by that result. Certainly, with Riley Fitzsimmons in the front of the boat, powering home. You can see there they were sitting in midfield, but coming home nice and strong to take the silver. And Denmark showing that they are a good, consistent performer. They were good in the heats and taking that form through to the final to pick up the bronze medal. Get confirmation here, but yeah, that is a very convincing win in a K4 500. Ukraine first, Australia taking the silver, and Denmark taking the bronze. Lithuania finishing fourth there. They'll be a bit disappointed that they couldn't back up their form from Szeged. As we said before, you can only beat who they put on the water against you, and the Ukrainians came out today and have made a statement in this event. There's the Lithuanians congratulating them. They'll be back, the Lithuanians. They've shown us that they are fast. They just need to recapture the style and the form that won them the gold in Szeged. But there's confirmation there with Ukraine, Australia and Denmark sharing the medals in the men's K4 500. K1. Let's have a listen to our Ukrainian gold medalists.
Hello, what do you think about this race?
Ukrainian language?
English.
Not English.
It was very, very hard, but very good race. Yeah. A very, very big thank you from my team for this race and for this win.
Okay, and what do you expect from this year?
Sorry.
Okay.
Bro, можна? Ми хочемо сказати в першу чергу за все привіт. Країна, привіт. Родичі, привіт, батьки, наші любі. Ми хочемо сказати Європі дякую за вашу підтримку. Просимо у вас F-16 для пацанів. Просимо у вас все, щоб тільки можна було.
І дякуємо нашим захисникам за те, що ми можемо
тут прославляти нашу страну, нашу країну.
Також привіт нашим близьким та рідним. Велике вам дякую.
Well, there you go. For men. And then we will finish up with the C2 Women's 200, which we saw this morning in the semi-finals. Some strong combinations in that race as well. So what happens from here, Stuart, for
23 selection in 2019, the wind picked up and really changed the results. So
yeah,
it just depends on the day, really.
And I mean, this is what I was saying before about how for many countries, for many athletes, the toughest race of the year could well be. And for your K1 1000 crew there, of which you're one of them, Stuart, I mean, it's such an intense couple of races and so much on the line, and probably even more so than any other race you're going to do all year. Here we go now. This is the C4 500 meters. Two crews from Poland and a crew from Ukraine. In this, unfortunately, we've had some scratchings, which has kept this down to just 3 boats in this final. But it is the Polish crew of Katecki, Slawinski, Witkowski and Kolodic in the middle of the field who are leading at this stage. The Ukrainians on their left, sitting in the silver medal position, and then the second Polish crew on the outside. As we head down towards the finish line, but it is Katecki, Slawinski, Witkowski and Kolodic from Poland who will take the gold. It looks like the second Polish crew will come through to take the silver. And then the Ukrainians, who are fighting back a little bit now, maybe they have found a second wind as we get close to the finish line, but it's Poland gold and silver and Ukraine taking the bronze for the C4 men 500, our penultimate event on our finals program for today. Some good strong races we've had today, some interesting results. I think Stuart will walk away from this thinking there's a couple of athletes who have really put their hand up today, even though it's a World Cup. And yeah, I think that definitely was one of the takeaways. I think the finish of Martin Fuchser in lane 9 in the men's C1 1000 was undoubtedly one of the highlights.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the Polish athlete just didn't see him coming in his rearview mirrors, and he just managed to sneak it in the last 100 meters. It was a really good event to watch, right on the line.
The Poles have been strong today, as you would expect, in front of their home crowd. They will be a force to be reckoned with in Duisburg in August. Do you like Duisburg? What's the feeling amongst athletes with the Duisburg?
Yeah, I think it can kind of go either way depending on the wind direction, but it's a course that's been on the program for a while now, so I think a lot of athletes are comfortable there and have raced there quite often. So yeah, it should be a good World Championships.
Okay, well here I think we'll hear from our Polish gold medalists what they thought of that race.
How do you feel about the race?
Yeah, the race was very tough. It not a level like, for example, on World Championships. But yeah, it was a nice step on the all season, and it was very nice, pretty nice.
What do you plan to do this year?
I think everyone wanna be on Olympic distance, but it's only 3 places. But yeah, it's like we have a lot of another races, for example, like C4 or non-Olympic like C2 200 or something. So everybody wanna have the best result on our competition.
Thank you. I gratulacje.
Actually, that's a good point, isn't it, Stuart? We've been talking about the importance of qualifying the Kayak.
Ski slope.
Yes, they do.
They've got a little sort of bobsled on a track, so it might be worth trying out some of those later. But yeah, it's really good to see that the public can sort of come out and enjoy their day alongside the racing.
Yeah, it's very popular in the afternoon when the sun is shining. A lot of people come down here, and a lot of people have the beer in Szeged, Opowski and Gonzol in lane 2. A second Polish crew of Luck and Dorozinska in lane 3, then Stani and Mendelska, Shui and Lin from China, Jan and Klemke from Germany, Faviza and Zakharova from Uzbekistan, and the Olympic champion Zhu and Sun closest to the screen as we're underway. And it is indeed Shua and Lin from China in the middle of the field who got the best of the start. The Poles going with them, Stani and Mendelska. But it is, and the Germans are also up, that's Jan and Klimke, but it is at this stage Shui and Lin from China who've snuck out early to a lead. Zhu and Sun a bit more competitive this week. They're up there challenging for a medal, but it's Shui and Lin, the Germans, Jan and Klimke, breathing down their necks though. And closest to the screen it is Zhu and Sun as well, also vying for a medal, but a solid win there for Shui and Lin. The Germans taking the silver, Jan and Klemke, and Zhu and Sun finish up with the bronze, but little doubt there about the winning combination.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really good to see the athletes sort of transferring their skills in the 500 over to the 200, and like you said, a much better performance than Szeged. But yeah, undoubtedly that first Chinese crew really dominating that race.
Well, when you put two solid C1, they would be a pretty powerful combination. Good result there for the Germans, taking the silver. And Zhu and Sun, who we will see tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing them racing tomorrow in the C2 500. That is their race. I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow if they can continue this stranglehold they have on the Olympic event. But congratulations to Shui and Lin. I think Shui won earlier on today, or picked up a medal earlier on today as well. So she's had a good day. And a very comfortable win in the end. Congratulations to China. Germany silver, and the second Chinese crew taking the bronze.
How do you feel?
Very happy.
So happy. First time, she is my new partner, so it's first get gold medal, so very happy.
Confirmation there, gold to China, silver to Germany, and bronze to China as well. So that pretty well wraps up our coverage from today. I think that's the last of our finals, Stuart, unless you're going to tell me otherwise. I'm pretty certain that is our last.